Thanks for joining me this morning. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Judith. And good morning, Lynn Sydney Guide. That's me. So I don't know if you noticed, ladies, but I've popped in the link for the catalogue. So if you want to open that up, or even after we've finished, that'll give you a little bit more information about the pieces that we see today. I hope we get a few more people. Otherwise, this is going to be a very intimate little group, isn't it? All right. So what are we? Thursday morning. It's a glorious day today. I think we're at about 24 degrees at the moment, heading for 30. It's going to be a hot one. I'll just show you where we're standing. We're standing on a busy main road at the moment at the entrance to the Eden Garden Centre. Um, there's some noisy miners fussing about in the flowering gum across the way. So let's go and have a look at them. I love these flowers. It's got the red flowering gum tree up there and a noisy miner hopping about in amongst the flowers. They go after the insects. They go after the insects that are, he doesn't want to be photographed, that one. But the flowers on the gum trees at the moment are just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Especially these showy red ones. So we're standing on the side of a busy main road in a car park. But this is the entrance to the Eden Garden Centre. And we're going to head in through these doors over here in a moment. It's 4.5 minutes to go. Let's have a little wander around just at the entrance. You get to see a few of the extra pieces that are outside the actual garden centre at the entrance. So this one, for instance, it's called Future Proofing. It's a textile art piece. Good morning, Bronwyn. So this one's made from all sorts of different textiles. To me, it looks like could be either corals. It could even be, you see those microscopic images of diseases and bacteria, and they look really interesting. Could be something like that too. But this one's called Future Proofing. On the opposite wall is a kids' piece, Angel Wings. All the kids in the school holidays have been invited to colour in, cut out, and they've all been joined together and put up on this wall over here. Hi, Roby. Hi, Tariq and the Bears. Ollie and Jimmy. Good morning. Hi, Norma. So someone last time I was here asked me to stand in front of that and do a selfie. So let's see if my arm is long enough to do that. All right, here we go. Now, I'm really not good at this. Down to down, 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 down. How's that look? I just can't get the wings in the right place and the halo as well. Maybe I'm not destined for a halo. What do you think, Mum? Mum's just joined me. She'll be able to answer that one. Do I suit Angel Wings, Mother? Okay. Hi, Alison. Hi, Valerie. So this is the old car, the old Holden that adorns the entrance to the Eden Garden Centre. been turned into a terrific planter. I think the upholstery needs work. Hi, Karen. Yeah, I don't think you want to sit in there, would you? And this is the other piece that welcomes you into the Eden Garden Centre. It's an apple with a floral snake, and the snake is called the Trickster. This is number 33 on the art trail. So this work, Snakes Around Refuge, which is the name of the apple sculpture, and it was put here by Caleb Fletcher and Christopher Centre. So it's a little succulent garden, just weaves around behind the apple. Who's joined us that I've missed? Hi Valerie, hi Karen. We're 25 seconds away from starting. Hi Judith and Robin. So we're really just having a look at the outside of the garden centre before we go in through the entrance. And we see these topiary bushes in the car park. I'm just hoping that there's no cars coming up behind me. Let's go over here. Really interesting topiary shapes. And in behind it, you've got the really tall black bamboo. Okay, so it looks like we're 13 seconds into having started. I'll go back over to the entrance before I turn the camera around. Give me a second. Morning, everyone who's just joined. I may have missed some names here. I can see hi, Andy, Ellen, and Nini. Okay, so hi from Sydney. My name's Lynn, and I'd like to acknowledge before we begin that we're meeting today on the lands of the Camaragal people of the Eora Nation and pay respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. We're standing at the entrance to the Eden Garden Centre in the suburb of Macquarie Park, which is a northern suburb of Sydney, around about 10 miles or 16 kilometres from the city centre. We're on a busy main road. It's a 6-lane road next to a motorway, and this is a little oasis that's been here for around about 20 to 25 years. So let's go inside. This is one just before the entrance, suspended above the garden and the stairs that lead down to actually the car park. So this is all big sculptural foliage, bamboo, and I'm not sure what those ones are called. It might be a juvenile palm of some sort. Lots of other palms. Morning, Tam. This one is actually made from bamboo, and if I move around to the other side a little, we'll see what the name of it is. So this one's called Fragile. We get a different perspective of it from here. And for anyone who's interested, Fragile is a work by Caroline Cronenberg, made from bamboo, fishing line and twine. And wherever there's a QR code available, you may want to take a postcard and come back to it later so that you can get more information on the pieces. Sometimes they are audio-visual from the artist themselves. Sometimes it's really just more a link to their website or something of that nature. So we're entering the Eden Garden Centre. The entrance takes us through their decor store. And if we get time at the end of the tour, I'll come back through and give you a quick look at the store. There's some lovely things in here. They're all out of my price range. Of course, that's not the purpose of our visit today, so we'll just move along through. So I was saying before we began the tour, it's a beautiful day here in Sydney, absolutely gorgeous. Blue skies. It's 24 degrees at the moment. We're going to be heading for 31, I believe, which is, for those in dealing in Fahrenheit, I think that's somewhere around the 80 mark, maybe a little higher. And I wasn't going to stop and pause in the garden centre itself just yet. It was something I was going to come back to, but I cannot resist showing you these amazing fly traps. Venus flytraps and pitcher plants, carnivorous plants. Look at those. Aren't they fantastic? Watch out, flies. Don't come in this area here. There's the Venus. There's the fly traps. Aren't they great? Look at them, all waiting. And sundews. Sundews. I remember seeing those in the Blue Mountains when I lived up there. Before I knew what they actually were. Sorry, we're delaying, aren't we? I just can't resist. Look at this little one. All right, let's go to the art trail. We're not where we're meant to be, and take a slow pan around so that we don't cause anyone any discomfort. To get to the start of the art trail, we're actually going to move past the cafe area as well. We're actually going to go through the cafe to see our first couple of pieces. Hi Eileen, thanks for joining us today. The cafe's not open. Okay, so the first two pieces we're going to see are actually in that area over there. So that's where we're headed right now. Good morning, Marie. So we have to go through the cafe. Oh, it's blocked off. We can only see it from the outside by the looks of it. Normally I walk through here, but they've blocked off the way with a couple of planters. All right, so we're going to be looking at these ones through the glass, unfortunately. And I'll just give you a glimpse in that corner there of what we're actually going to be looking at. So coming back to have a look at those. Let's move out of the cafe. We're actually, looks like we're not meant to be here. Well, that's a shame. So, this piece is called Disintegration. So we can see it through the window there. And I'll read it to you. This work has been donated to the Cancer Council of New South Wales by the artist. And so over the 6 months of the exhibition, which runs until April, we're in the last couple of months, the piece will disintegrate piece by piece. So individual strands, which is hanging from the ceiling right through to the floor, sell for $95 each, and individual leaves for $10. So that's a rather lovely idea. It doesn't explain what the leaves are made from, but you can see it could be recycled paper. You can see that they're suspended from the ceiling, and then there are some individual leaves down here on the floor that you can buy, and all that money goes to the Cancer Council, which is a rather nice idea. Okay, so we're going to move around and have a look at that other piece over in the corner there. We may get some reflection off the glass, but we'll do our best to see what we can hear. They've taken the sign down from it. I think it's called Stay. Anyone who's got the catalogue up will be able to see. It's literally textile art. So it's knitting and crocheting and French knitting and just using the colours of the garden. And unfortunately, we've got that terrible reflection in the glass, so we can't get a great shot of it. It's a shame we couldn't actually go inside and have a look at it. All right, we'll move along from that. So at this point here, we're going to move along the top of the walkway and we'll be able to look at down over the gardens. Just before we do, this is a fun one for children. It's called the Night Music Box, and it is a representation of the solar system. Unfortunately, some of the prongs seem to have broken off. You can see how it works here. It's like a music box. But I'll see if we can actually get it to make some noise. There's a handle here that we turn. And when we turn the handle, kind of get the idea of what it's supposed to do. Obviously, if there were more prongs in place, it would work a little better. Good morning, Dean, Andrea, Meg, and Clive. Thanks for joining me today. So from this point here, you can see we're overlooking the garden. We're going to walk out along this walkway. The Eden Garden Centre backs onto the Lane Cove National Park. And we come quite close to it, just over there where all those gum trees are. It's a beautiful location. The Lane Cove River runs through the Lane Cove National Park. This site here, I understand, is around about 3 acres, something like that. Hi, Jane. And the garden is set out as display gardens for inspiration for gardeners to perhaps use landscaping techniques in their own garden. So you can get an idea. They're laid out by season. Don't ask me too many questions about individual plants. It's just a lovely space to walk through from my point of view. We're on top of a gorgeous frangipani tree here. We'll get glimpses of some of the artworks from this walkway, and then we'll actually get down in amongst them. So over to my right, we're looking down over the wisteria covered walkway. It's like a tunnel. Has anyone been to the Monet Gardens in Giverny in France? It's a lot like that. And then over there we've got the brick archway with a succulent garden growing on top of it. These look like olive trees to me. And in the background we've got the constant sound of the cicadas. Hi Christina and Ava. So you might be able to see through the trees over here. There's the top of one of the permanent pieces. Those tall coloured poles, twisty poles. And from here we get to look down onto some of the individual gardens that are laid out by theme. Some of them, I think this one is about allergy free. So all the plants in this particular garden are planted for their allergy free properties. But we'll get to see that as we get down there as well. There, my friend, is a kookaburra, What is he looking at? Do you see on top of that wall on the left? There's a kookaburra and he's stalking. He's looking at the pond, I think. He might be looking over there at that little pond. Do we have fish in the pond? You came from the orchids in Bali, Ava? That would have been a lovely tour. Let's see if this kookaburra is going to pounce on anything. We're not going to wait too long for you, mate. If you're going to do it, you have to do it now. Hi, Tina. Hi, Kathleen. Nice. I think he's aware that I'm here. I think the dragons are a bit too big. I think the dragons are safe. We'll get to see dragons. For anyone who hasn't done this tour before, we're going to be seeing some dragons. Okay, I'm going to try and get this without the wall in the way. So if you like the look of that as a postcard, or over here with the kookaburra, we'll do this one as well. You might have to crop it later or zoom in. Kookaburra is spelt K-O-O-K-A-B-U-R-R-A. It's basically a kingfisher. It hunts lizards, snakes, fish. Thanks, Tammy. Is it Tam or Tam-E? And they have a wonderful morning call. They're called the Laughing Kookaburra for a reason. Here's another perspective of those poles I showed you a moment ago. And in the background, you can see cranes and tall buildings. We are literally on the edge of an industrial, what would you call it? It's not industrial. It's kind of like our Silicon Valley. So there's a lot of tech companies around here. Looking down here at the beautiful trumpet flower. Look at that. Orange trumpet flower. And here we have a very large stone circle. And you probably can't see it, but there's a very large circular spider web suspended above it. Just about there. It's a very large spider web. And here, this kind of tall pyramid. There's a small amphitheatre in the background over there. There are sometimes performances held, fundraising events. The owners of this property do a lot of community work, fundraising. They have associations with the Cancer Council, so there's a lot of fundraising activity associated with this business, which is really lovely. We'll see more evidence of that in a moment. So here we have this is where the garden centre meets the national park. So those are all Australian eucalyptus trees in there, or how we know them as gum trees. So going to walk across to this tower. Oh, no, we're not. Look, it's been barred. Our access to the tower has been barred. Well, that's just not fair. We're going to have to find another way around. Normally, I would go inside that tower. We would walk down those stairs, come out that entrance there, and walk down to the Australian garden, which is over there. So let's do things a little differently today. We're sort of situated above a little Japanese garden here. There's a pond, the ubiquitous gravel. So again, as I said, these gardens are designed as display gardens. They're intended to showcase what you what ideas you might incorporate into your own garden at home. I think that's a mulberry tree. All right, let's find another way off this walkway and get down into the gardens. Look at that huge bromeliad flower. It's rather spectacular. The bangalow palms are in flower. These are our local native palm trees, bangalow palms. And the bats, fruit foxes, flying foxes love them. We may not get to this one from ground level since our route has been altered a little. So we'll look at it from up here. Hi Greg, hi Camilo. Camilo? I always get your name wrong, don't I? And I think that there might be a curry leaf tree. Who uses curry leaves in cooking? I do. I have a friend who grows them in his backyard, so I have a constant supply of curry leaves when I need them. Excellent, Greg. Yeah, they're great, aren't they? Love the flavour they add. Stir fry them in a little bit of ghee to start with before all the aromats go in. Okay, let's quickly get to the lower level. I just need to remember how to do that. I think we have to go past the fountain. Which is not a bad thing. It's a lovely fountain. That leads to the children's playground. All right, so we'll go up from this angle here. With the crepe myrtle here in flower. This is the centerpiece of the garden, the formal garden, the fountain, which depicts floral emblems, themes from nature. I'll get to a position that doesn't have the sun in the background. That looks like a chameleon, dragonfly. All right, I'm going to do a pan up so you can see the whole thing. That was a live dragonfly, just flew by, a red one. And then I'm going to do a vertical shot. For anyone who doesn't like the vertical shot, I'll give you some warning so you have an opportunity to avoid the move when I go and do it. Look at that sky. Okay, so we're going to go vertical in 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3. And there you have the whole fountain in shot. Okay, I'm going back in 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There we go. I'm not aware the fountain has a name, but surely must. It just has some really interesting features to it. All right, so let's go down this way. The exhibition is called Unearthed, and it runs through till April. The Eden Garden Centre has an exhibition of this nature and art trail every year, and the pieces are all temporary, and some of them are for sale. And we will go have a look at this one first. Okay, so this one's called Listening to Trees. To be honest, this is the first time I've seen it. There are lots of different turns and angles in this place, so I haven't actually been here before. Let's see what this does. Maybe you're supposed to sit and listen. What's happening here? Okay, so kids are invited to engage with this one. To be honest, I hear a lot of traffic and helicopter noise. But I'm all for different ways of engaging children to look beyond the easy and convenient. I do rather like this mosaic though. It's not going to be possible to get the whole thing in one shot. And because of the way the garden comes up very close to it, I can't even sort of pan across it very easily. But we can get up close. I remember doing this type of art as a child. Okay, so we're going to turn now. There's a shot there for anyone who wants it. Hi, Russell. Turning around away to this set of stairs over here. Excuse me while I concentrate on walking downstairs. Okay, here's our first dragon. Good morning. For anyone who hasn't been on this tour before, this is an eastern water dragon, and the garden is full of them. This one's only a small one. Let's see how close he'll let me get. That close. And here we have, let's see, this one's called Cave of Yi. And I think looking is better than me trying to interpret or explain on her behalf. It's really just a sort of a cave with water running down the back wall. Okay, so this brings us to the other side of this one, which is explained better if I go over to that little walkway over there where you can actually see a description of it. But it's meant to be rather fragile. The purpose of it is fragility. There's that slender pyramid. We'll see if that's got an explainer. Here's a closer view of the amphitheatre while we're here. The sun's going to make it a little bit tricky. So you can see it's a small performance space with terraces. Over here we have a piece called The Wall, The Walk Forward. There we go, The Walk Forward, which to me obviously represents family, generations. And there's the information on it. Here's our stone circle. I'm looking for lizards. I'm looking for dragons. I know they're here. Look at the gorgeous flowers on these bromeliads. So this one over here is called Bayungan, and it's based on Javanese shadow puppets. Hi Russell, hi Fairly. And apparently it's made out of recycled office chairs. I'll get to a different angle for this one. We can frame it nicely between these trees, I think. Got that one there. Let's try for this one here. I don't know if they're designed to turn. No. I thought they might have been on some sort of a rotating plinth of some sort, but they're not. This is one of the permanent pieces. It's an interesting cast iron chair, garden seat. And we can see the base of the slender pyramid is actually surrounding some sort of a tree. Hi Dennis. I'm sure there's a statement there of some sort, a message of some kind. Before we go down through the archway, I want to go and show you the winner of this particular exhibition. It's not this one. I'm just showing you this one because it's here. This one is called Floral Odyssey. Now there's something to do with Father Chris Riley's Youth Off the Streets here. Floral Odyssey is an Eden Gardens community installation, and we aim to continue to grow this work in connection with Father Chris Riley's Youth Off the Streets. That's a good cause. I'm all for that. Some of the individual pieces are quite interesting. I'm not sure what that is, for instance. It's everything from cut CDs to strips of denim, everything in a blue theme. I think the magpies would love it. On the bowerbirds. The Australian bowerbird loves the colour blue. Here's another dragon. Just happily sitting here in amongst the subtropical garden, I would call this. Not sure what all these plants are. There's a big yucca there. Hi, Virginia. Thanks for coming along. So we're at the other side of that piece I showed you a moment ago. It's called Knots of Eden. Made from porcelain mixed with malt sugar. And in behind it is the fountain that we walked past earlier. So we were looking down onto this garden earlier, the asthma and allergy friendly garden. So there's a little bit about it there. It's created in conjunction with the Asthma Foundation. Understanding that a lot of Australian plants contribute heavily to asthma. People can suffer a great deal of distress in spring. Australia is one of the worst countries for asthma. This is my favourite. It's actually the winner of the Eden Gardens Prize, and it's by a Blue Mountains artist. Her name is Saskia Everingham, and she was inspired to create this after the bushfires from a couple of years ago. Not only did humans lose their homes in the Blue Mountains in the bushfires, but birds did as well, and she is quoted as saying that she was suddenly aware that there were a lot of birds in the sky and seemed to have nowhere to go. And she was inspired to create this felt art piece. So every piece is different and they're all fascinating shapes hanging from this small gum tree. You might have noticed by now that I do like a bit of textile art. And look at this one here. I'm not sure what bird would fit in that one. Something very small. This one unfortunately has the sun behind it, so I'm going to try and get a different angle. Excuse me while I move around the other side. Oh, it's warming up. So before we go there, these are some magnificent bird's nest ferns, and you can see the spore on the underside of the leaves quite clearly. There we go. So we can get some of these from the different angle. I'm actually literally in amongst the gum trees. Don't ask me to sing you that song. All right, let's move down to the lower level through the archway. I want to give you a shot of it first. Almost missed it. Almost missed this one. It's called My Happy Place. Look. By Alison Thompson. Very colourful. Very beautiful. Very quirky. Hi, MT. Can you see something like that in your garden? And I love this flower. I have no idea what it is, but it is absolutely, absolutely stunning. Look at it. It's so unusual. I don't know what it's called. There's another one. I'm not going to focus on it. There we go. All right. So down through the arch. I must come here when the wisteria flowers are in bloom. It must be stunning. It must be beautiful. Oh, here we go, everyone. Welcome to Australia. The smart thing to do when you see a snake is just to stand still. Do not be alarmed. Definitely don't try and hit it. If it's a brown snake, you're going to come off second best. Brown snakes will kill you with their bite. It is highly poisonous. But if you leave them alone, they'll usually move away. They're not really interested in attacking you. Let's turn around and look the other way. Where the cycad palm becomes the hero. All right. Which way do I go now? I'm all disoriented because I've had to go a different way to what I normally do. Here we go. Here we have the lotus pond. Some lovely roses. This garden here is dedicated to the Cancer Council. So patrons' names are on the wall. They've been acknowledged. There's a wall of honour. There's a wall of special remembrance, and at certain times of year, this would be filled with daffodils. There's a little skink. Do you see him? They're very bronze in colour. He's not going to let me get too close this one. There's a watercourse runs through here. Okay, there's a little black coot in the water. And we have a dragon over here sitting on a rock. He's a bit shy. And above it, some beautiful protea flowers. Related to our local Banksias. Beautiful sculptural trees. There's the motorway. You can just see how close we are to the actual motorway. Oh, we've got another dragon over here. Let's see if he lets me get. Oh no, they're just very shy this morning. So sometimes they'll stand and let you get really close. This is very unusual. I do not know what this is. There's no foliage. There's just the flower spike. And in behind it, we've got all the sun coming through the foliage of the water plants. Okay, we'll slowly make our way down here. There's one or two more art pieces we may get to see. My timing's been thrown out a little because my root got thrown out. This is really unusual plant. I don't know what this is called either. As I said, I'm not a botanist and I'm not a horticulturist. I just like plants. It's a really interesting shape. Hi, Barbara. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to get a long shot of this piece here, and we'll explain him in a moment. He's called King Cole. It's actually quite difficult to get a good shot of him close up because the sun's always at the wrong angle. But we're going to have a closer look and see how we go. Here's some more of these stunning bird's nest ferns. We've just hit the 45-minute mark. We're going to go a few minutes over, but that's okay. So there he is there. Very difficult to get in exposed correctly. He's very dark and there's a lot of light, but he's made of coal. He's called King Cole. We'll get very close to him. Okay, finally the exposure's come good. You can see his arms are folded, his head's thrown back. He's very arrogant, isn't he? And here's the information on King Cole. Okay, let's head this way. We're not going to get a chance to go back to the gift shop. We're right at the far end of the garden over here. So I'll give you this lovely postcard looking through along the watercourse. And this has all been created. It's lovely. Beautiful ferns, reeds. Here's another piece here called Stratagems. This one by Anne Levitch. It's for sale. It says price on application. So if you wanted those in your garden, it's for sale. There we go. All right, so that concludes my tour today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I can't believe that with this stunning, beautiful day we're having today, I've had to cancel tomorrow morning's sunrise at Sydney Harbour Bridge because we're expecting thunderstorms. And it's not really a sunrise if there's no sun, is there? So we're going to do that on Monday morning instead. And I hope you're able to make it. It is expected to be overcast, partly sunny, so we have a chance. We have a chance of having a nice sunrise on Monday morning. I'm heading from here to the coal loader, so if you'd like to join me at the coal loader, I'll be there in about an hour and a half, I think it is from now. It's a really interesting repurposing of an old industrial site, and definitely worth joining me on that one. I'd also like to ask you, one of my fellow guides in Melbourne, Susanna, who some of you know, she had her She had her bag snatched the other day with her wallet, her phone, and her gimbal. And this is all obviously essential to her running tours. If you have an opportunity, keep a lookout for her tours and join them. Give her some of the community support. It's really, really quite devastating to have your bag snatched. I think it'd be horrible. So we're all thinking of Susanna right now, and hope that she's back on her feet quickly, doing tours again in Melbourne. And of course, tomorrow, even though it says it's going to rain, I am still heading to the Royal Botanic Gardens. I'll be there with my umbrella. So please join me if you can, because it's beautiful at the Royal Botanic Gardens and definitely worth coming to see with me. Hi, Christine. I'm sorry you're just joining me now. That's part of the problem with Hago at the moment, is that you can just jump on and you don't know that a tour is just about to end. We will come back here another day. And thank you again, everyone, for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Bye for now. Thanks, Norma. Bye.